What's up, everybody? It's your favorite number two's favorite nerd. Today we are looking at the Toywolf. This is all known to me from Joe. He was like, hey man, I got that toilet bowl thing. You want me to send it your way? I said, sure. I would imagine that there's people that watch my channel that'd be interested in this thing. So we're taking a look at it. As a fun fact, my dad lives in West Virginia now. After he retired, he moved out to West Virginia, and I can tell you it's a different way of life out there. That being said, there was a septic tank one time that I saw driving by that said, your number 2 is our number 1. So there's that. This guy does come with a fair amount of accessories. Let's go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, I want to talk about this. Now, I don't usually do stuff like this in reviews, but like this isn't a very classy figure, and I don't know if this is supposed to be some sort of fancy toilet paper, but it comes with this, which is pretty classy to show your instructions, wouldn't you say? Like, one of these things is not like the others, but this was worth showing. So he comes with 2 of these things. They're like the samurai flags. They're done pretty well. The gunmetal paint, the silver paint, and then the Tampo paint there in the center with like a dookie in it, I guess that's supposed to be. He comes with 2 of them. In robot mode, they plug into his back here. It's a tight fit, so I'm not going to push it all the way, so to speak. I got to be careful with the puns on this one, but they will work. Now these can also double as a floor for the toilet by just having this here and then placing that on top. So that's a nice little feature. He also comes with a roll of toilet paper, and there's no deco on it, but it is sculpted, I guess, accurately enough. This will plug in to the back as well. It can also plug into the top. I'm not sure who has it there. It would have been nice if it plugged into the side, I suppose. He comes with 2 swords. They also have this like metallic gunmetal paint for the blades, which is interesting. And then 5mm pegs, it looks like, for handles. He'll hold those. They can also peg in to the underside here if you have everything lined up properly to kind of get up and out of the way using this peg and that hole. He comes with a plunger. We have, once again, gunmetal paint for the bottom, and then I think that's red plastic. That might be paint as well, actually, for the plunger itself. Rest assured, he'll hold that as well. He comes with a metallic, I would guess this is supposed to be a deuce. Doesn't much look like one. I'm not exactly sure where to use this. It doesn't cover it, as far as I can tell, in the instructions as far as robot mode. It looks like it would plug in to something, but I'm not finding a corresponding peg on him, but it is gunmetal paint throughout. He also comes with, I hope it's a tongue, it's a tongue, but you gotta like take the head apart in order to use it. It is painted though, once again, like there's a lot of pride that went into this, for better or worse. But yeah, there's this, and I was hoping when I saw it that you could just peg it in, but when I was looking at it, I was like, man, I can't see anywhere to really properly peg this in. You might have to take teeth out and everything else in order to kind of get this to really properly work. So, I guess maybe you can wedge it in there. This doesn't belong to me. So, you know what I mean? You can probably get away with that if you really wanted to, but I don't think that's the way it's intended. And your dookie can go inside the toilet, and you can set the plunger to the side, and then the tongue you just kind of sit off, I suppose. All right, so let's talk about the figure. The build feels actually fairly solid. Like, it's plastic. It's all plastic, it feels like, but it feels dense, and it feels like it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like pretty good materials. The head is on a ball peg. You can see it in his mouth. Even still, you get pretty much nothing up. You get a good bit down, and then you get the swivel that kind of goes out to an angle on both sides. But I think it's effective. You get 2 eyes in each. They're both painted red. So a total of 4 eyes, 2 in each socket. The teeth are white pieces that are plugged in. There's gunmetal silver painted on the face, and then the copper painted around it for accents. It looks awesome. This also hinges forward and back, depending on your sensibilities. So like it's pretty well articulated. And then the little fan, that's just gray plastic, I believe. No issues. Shoulders on a ball peg. You get out to 90 degrees, and you get the full swivel. Red paint and gunmetal paint on the bicep swivel, elbow hinge. It's on a single hinge, but you get the full run, so that's cool. Black paint and then red paint over top. The red paint looks amazing, by the way. And then we have the copper paint added to the hands. The hands are on ball pegs, so they swivel, and then you have the 5mm C-clip fingers, it looks like to me. And same for the other side. No waist swivel. You do get the deco here. The Tampo paint looks good, the copper. And then you have T-jointed ball joints basically for hips. If you maneuver them properly, I don't know why I'm able to get this one. And I probably shouldn't have done that. But you can get them almost out to the full Monty, or the full Van Damme rather. And then forward and back for a pretty good run, I guess. Thigh swivel is around the socket of the ball peg and works fine enough. Single hinge, no, double hinge knee, right? No, single hinge knee. Still gets you the full run. And breaks up the sculpt, but the sculpt is kind of goofy enough where it still works. And then ball pegs for the ankles, so you get a rocker and then a tilt up and down. So fairly basic, fairly straightforward, but nonetheless fairly effective. Do you know what I mean? Silver paint there on the back. And there's a size comparison with the Marvel Legend and a Masterpiece car. I'll show a size comparison in alt mode as well in case you were considering using it for a prop or something, but we'll get there when we get there. Pull this back plate up and out. Fold the arms up all the way. From the bottom, you're going to unpeg this entire section that holds the hips and swing that around to the back. Then swing the foot up at the knee and peg it back into these tabs on the back. And do that for both sides. The ball peg will tend to get unaligned. Just do the best you can. Swing these entire sections here with the arms on them to the back. And then you're going to want to try to line all of this up as you do so that it fits into the kind of design sections that are pretty easy to read, if you will. And hopefully you will. Maybe you won't. I don't know. All right. Flip the head 180 and then flip your top part down and slide this back. Fill in the 2 gaps on the side. Then you want to flip this entire section up and try to get these blades that are sitting on his helmet to kind of sit between the arms. And it's actually a little tricky of a tolerance to sort of work out. I have done it, but there. Bring in your 2 side pieces that'll tab into the side of the head here. And, bring your back plate up and around to plug in to the top. And they'll plug in to these 2 pegs as well. And there it is in all of its glory. And you can lift up the toilet seat, obviously. And I guess that's really kind of about it. It will stand. I did want to show you this. You can work this. Like, it is kind of in scale for a 1/6 scale figure. Or 1/12 scale figure rather. Like if you wanted a diorama or something and just wanted some little extra fun to kind of play with. God, I feel like I'm cleaning bathrooms every time I turn around. But this does kind of work. So that's a cool thing. And there it is with Tiger Tracks, of course. Final thoughts wise, the negatives, I mean, I don't know. How do you even judge this thing? Like, what is the point? Like, I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way. I mean, like, if you're buying this, like, you're buying it kind of as a novelty. You're kind of buying it as a joke, I would imagine. And, I mean, it kind of does all of that right. It is a joke. It is a novelty. Like, it's almost flawless in that regard. I guess the tongue accessory, is not as easy as it should be to utilize. There's some engineering issues, especially moving the 2 side doors around those 2 tabs in the back once the arms have been folded. There's no waist swivel. I mean, does that matter for something like this? I don't know. And I mean, I guess that's ultimately it. It would be nice if they showed you how to use some of these accessories in the instructions. Like, they don't show you how to use the tongue. They don't show you what you're intended to do with the poop, or if there's what am I talking about? What am I doing with myself? I'm 38 years old, and I'm sitting here talking about the instructions don't show you what to do with the poop. Poopity scoop. Positives-wise, it's painted well. It's actually a pretty solid built little thing. And the instructions are beautiful. I think that's the first time I've probably ever said that on this channel, but they are. It's fun, like it's funny and it's fun in that regard. And also, I think it's cool that the scale kind of works for 1/12 stuff. So, like, I think that's kind of an added bonus, especially for a diorama stuff. I'm getting ready to do a bunch of dioramas for Marvel Legends, and, I don't know if I'm going to do a bathroom or not, but if I were, I think this would be as good a use of something as anything, I suppose. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, do I recommend it? I mean, like, I think, like, if you are interested in something like this, I don't think there is a way you could be disappointed. The problem is being interested in something like this. You know, that's definitely, you gotta be cut from a certain type of cloth, and luckily Joe is. So shout out to him. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.